Stocks trade in the green after Nifty stamps 23,000, but advances and declines remain evenly balanced. Telecom and capital goods are the big gainers today, while healthcare and FMCG drag.
Indigo ends FY24 with a profit against a loss in the previous fiscal, with improved performance across parameters riding on strong growth in passenger traffic. Brokerages stay upbeat on the stock, though some fret over valuations.
Tata Consumer rises on strong growth and market share gains. Bikaji Food perks up on a PLI infusion, and Sensex Cables jumps on a good show. But disappointments hurt Orchid Pharma, Schneider and Landmark Cars today.
Want to become an institution with values like the Tatas? Mankind Pharma Managing Director Rajiv Juneja tells CNBC TV18 he also spells out his M&A formula, shares his growth vision and clears the air on any further stake sale by the promoters.
Hello and welcome. You've tuned into Business Lunch. I'm Nisha Podar. As always, with me is Sonia Shenoy. So, Sonia, what a record-smashing day it has been after yesterday's euphoria. The momentum has built up, and Nifty 50 is still closer to the record levels and comfortably above the 23,000 level that it has conquered today. So, let's take a look at the markets at lunch hour, and it's flat to gains, about 36 points gain on Nifty 50, but holding up above the 23,000 level. Sensex 2 gains closer to 90 points at the moment. Bank Nifty is outperforming the key indices, 0.3% up. So banks really taking the lead like yesterday, and midcaps are also participating with huge amount of gusto, 0.4% up on the midcap universe as well. And that is also showing on the market strength. But remember that the advance and decline ratio is neck and neck slightly in favor of the advances. If we really take a look at Nifty 50 components, well, there are some draggers like Tata Consumers, Apollo Hospital, Adani Ports, ITC, TCS, Britannia. So some of the consumption names. And from the banking space, ICICI Bank is not doing too very well, but the heavyweight HDFC Bank is the one which is gaining. So, Sonia, it's a good day of trade and momentum building also with the RBI's big dividend. That particular impact is also
It's a great day of trade. You know, the reason is that after the big build-up we saw yesterday, the market is actually building on to its gains. You may not see it so much in the headline index, but you're actually seeing so much traction in the broader markets. I wanted to talk about some of the stocks. A lot of defense stocks are coming back in a big way. Fresh highs on names like, say, a BEL is sitting at a fresh high right now. Look at Bharat Dynamics, 12.5%, 13% higher, huge volumes over there. A couple of other names as well. Bharat Forge in that space is also picking up pace. Paras Defense, Mazgaon Dock, all of these stocks are sitting at fresh highs. So that is one space that the street really, really likes. And Sensex Cables in, the entire consumer space, consumer durable space, Sensex Cables is up about 15%. So big moves coming into individual stocks, and the headline index hanging on to the 23,000 mark. But there was a big move in the market this morning. The market scaled new highs with the Nifty hitting that 23,000 milestone. How has the journey been to 23,000 for the Nifty? Hormuz joins in with interesting insights on that. Hormuz, over to you.
It's been anything but a smooth ride for the Nifty between 22,000 and 23,000. We took almost 88 trading sessions to get to these 1,000 points. And we hit 22,000 at the start of January. Then we tested levels of around 22,700, then slipped down to 21,800, 700. Now we scaled those levels again. Then we had another slip, and now finally we are at that 23,000 mark, courtesy that stupendous move that we saw on the weekly expiry yesterday. And there are plenty of stocks that have contributed to these gains, and Mahindra is the leader of that pack. If you could pull up the gainers, you'd see there M&M 58% since that January move when we hit 22,000 first. So 58% there. Mahindra is also at record highs as well. Some PSUs part of this list, BPCL and Power Grid there. Tata Steel, considering the recent rally that we have seen in metals, also part of the list. And State Bank of India, after the result surprise, is up 31% as well since January, a big contributor among the top 5 on on the Nifty. But IT has been a pain point almost all through the year for the markets, and that reflects in this list. LTI, Mindtree, HCL Tech, 3 out of the top 5 Nifty laggards between 22 and 23,000 are IT stocks. And also forming in the list is Asian Paints, that has suffered a bit of competition pressure, and IndusInd Bank as well, another 15% down from January till date. And some of the stocks that have contributed in terms of points, Mahindra & Mahindra not having a significant weightage on the Nifty, but considering the move that it has seen, and that reflects in the point contribution as well, 207 points there. Some banking heavyweights like ICICI Bank not among the top 5 gainers, but contributing in terms of points. And Reliance Industries makes a mention here as well, 166 points in this 1,000-point journey. And lastly, some of the stocks that were the laggards, and HDFC Bank has been this blow hot, blow cold sort of a year that it has had, 211 points on the downside, so not contributing at all to this Nifty 1,000-point rally that we have seen. Infosys, Bajaj Finance at ITC as well among the top losers. So a lot of index heavyweights there on the downside, and yet the index has managed to scale this 1,000-point journey, and we are at Mount 23,000.
All right, Hormaz, thanks so much. Quite an exhaustive number crunching there as Nifty 50 reaches another milestone of 23,000 mark. All right, let's focus on some of the stocks on the move today. And shares of Interglobe Aviation, they are under pressure today despite posting a strong set of fourth quarter earnings. In fact, Sonia will tell us more about what is it that the street does not like, Sonia.
So, the stock, I think, has come in for profit taking, right? I just want to put some brokerages on board first. Most brokerages actually like the numbers and continue to be overweight on the stock. Let's start with JP Morgan. They are overweight. They've actually raised their target price on the stock to 4,900. You have Morgan Stanley that's overweight as well. They have increased the target price to 5,142. Jefferies has a hold. They have raised their target price to 4,150. But Elara Capital is the only one that has changed their rating to sell from a reduce. So let me tell you what most brokerages are saying. The Q4 numbers were a big beat. They were better than what the street was estimating, so no complaints at all over there. The yields continue to surprise. Passenger growth has been very strong. The yields have gone up 7% on a year-on-year basis. The FY25 guidance is unchanged. The company continues to expect an early double-digit growth in FY25. But brokerages also say that the stellar run that we have seen in the stock factors in a lot of the positives. So maybe some profit taking is what you're seeing. Now, Indigo is evolving into a larger business with newer avenues of growth, which include loyalty programs, a new business class that they're going to launch, long-haul international flights as well. In fact, the business class services by Indigo will be launched by the end of this calendar year itself. They will be adding some wide-bodied fleet. So one of the brokerages has called it Indigo 2.0 going forward, and most brokerages continue to be very bullish on the stock. Today, of course, we are seeing some profit taking. But in their earnings conference call, the company's CEO Peter Elbers said that the airline would soon offer business class seats to passengers who wanted a premium experience, and also said that their target is to have a fleet of 600 plus aircrafts by the end of this decade.
We are taking the next step in the evolution of Indigo. We will be launching a tailor-made business product on the busiest routes and business routes of the country before the end of this year. There's an ever-growing need for premium travel in India, and by launching this product, we will create a desired option for many who are aiming to travel business, and perhaps for some of them for the first time in their lives. Our current pending order book of a little short of 1,000 aircraft to be delivered up to 2035 gives us long-term visibility well into the next decade. For the many years to come, we will receive a minimum of one new plane every week. And this speaks a lot about India probably being the last frontier of aviation growth of such a high magnitude, and the part Indigo is poised to play in it. With our target of 600 plus fleet aircraft by the end of the decade in mind, we continue to develop and align people, processes and technology in line with the growing size and the scale of Indigo.
All right, let's steer our focus towards the cement sector now, and shares of JK Lakshmi Cement. They are higher in trade after the company posted a good set of fourth quarter earnings. And Arun Shukla, who's the president and director of JK Lakshmi Cements, expects the prices to improve once the demand kicks in. And he also guides for over 10% volume growth in this financial year. Listen in.
Our volume guidance is 10% plus. H1 is going to be around maybe 8% and H2 around 12%. So that is what we are targeting. Here on, I see that prices will definitely improve, and means at least 1.5 to 2%, 2.5%. That is what I see the price increase. This is what my estimation is based on the fair estimation which I can do as of today. So current year, I think Surat grinding station we are commissioning, so we'll be commissioning around Q3 of this year. So their total capex is about 225 crore. Apart from that, we have railway siding which we are commissioning at Durg. So that is getting partially over. Maybe I think by Q2 we'll be concluding there that as well. So that is about 220 crore. So around 500 crore. That is what the capex. Along with that, some of the announcements which we have done. Once demand improves, prices also will go up. From here on, I see that prices will definitely improve, and means at least 1.5 to 2%, 2.5%. That is what I see the price increase. This is what my estimation is based on the fair estimation which I can do as of today.
Okay, let's shift focus now on a review of the FTSE All World Index and the FTSE All Cap Index. The changes are expected to happen today itself. Vivek is joining in with more details on that. Vivek, over to you.
Well, that's right. So passive indices, that'll be in focus of both the FTSE, and also remember, today we are also expecting the Sensex Index Committee to go ahead and make a few changes. Now, coming to the FTSE, both there are two indices that we track. One is the All World Index and the other one is the All Cap Index. Now, as per IFL Alternative Research, the index changes will be announced today. The implementation will be later. So this particular review mainly will focus on the stocks, that are recent listings, any demergers, any spin-offs. These are the ones that will be considered by FTSE in order to be introduced or go ahead and added as far as the All World and All Cap indices are concerned. So which are the likely additions? JSW Infra, expect flows of close to $38 million if included. The list of other stocks are Hunasa, that is Mamaearth, Happy Forging, Cellular, DOMS, Inox India. IREDA2 could be an inclusion, and that could attract flows of close to $57 million. Tata Technologies is another one. Close to $35 million is what it could attract. On the other hand, Sensex 2 could see a few changes. You could see Adani Enterprises coming in the place of Wipro. If added, Adani Enterprises could see flows of close to $118 million, and Wipro could see outflows of close to $56 million.
All right, Vivek, thanks so much for getting us all those details, and the inclusion and exclusion impacts that stock. So thanks for giving us that perspective. All right, from equities, let's move on to commodities now. And hedge fund manager Pierre Andurand says that copper prices could hit $40,000 a ton in the next 4 years. And to understand where copper prices are headed at the moment, let's connect with Manisha Gupta. Manisha, tell us, what are the brokerages saying and what is the estimate for the price rise in copper?
Well, thank you for that. If you look at copper, it has been one of the best performing commodities within the metal as a sector. And that is because the markets are anticipating that going forward, the demand from EVs and electricals and automation, AI, all of these sectors will be much on the higher side, while the supply will not perhaps be able to catch up with it. Is the reason we have copper prices trading 25 to 27% on the higher side for this year. Also, when you look at the all-time highs that we've made on LME, stand at $11,400 a ton. Now, while the prices have run up quite a lot, there are some words of caution as well coming in. You have Citi saying that the copper should consolidate in the next 3 to 6 months. JP Morgan says that pricing has run ahead of the fundamentals right now. BNP Paribas also says that there is 500,000 tons of copper variety sitting in stock houses right now. And then there is International Copper Study Group suggesting that you could be looking at a surplus in copper in this year and the next as well. But even having said that, when you look at the forecast for copper going forward from here are quite on the bullish side. We already have done $11,000 on the higher side. There's Morgan Stanley suggesting $13,000. There's a report from Bank of America suggesting $12,000. And then you have Citi talking about $12,000 as well. Goldman Sachs talking about $15,000. But $40,000 a ton is really huge. And that is what Durand is pointing out. That can happen in the next 4 years. The report also suggests that this is a spike that the prices perhaps could see. It would not sustain there, because at some level at these higher prices, you will also see a demand getting dented or supplies coming into the market as well. But with the kind of fundamentals that we have right now, well, any number really goes.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, let's slip into a short break. When we return, we'll get you up to speed with all you need to know ahead of the phase 6 of voting tomorrow. Stay tuned. So we're less than 2 weeks away from counting day. The polling has been completed in 25 states and union territories. Elections are over in 428 parliamentary constituencies and also for the state assemblies in Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. Phase 6 for 57 constituencies across 7 states takes place tomorrow. Delhi, which has been seen as a high-pitched battle between BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, also votes tomorrow. Parikshit Luthra joins us now with the latest. Parikshit, over to you.
The liquor scam case, which led to the arrest of Arvind Kejriwal, Manish Sisodia, Satyendra Jain and Sanjay Singh of the Aam Aadmi Party, has taken centre stage in the capital. All 7 seats in Delhi go to polls in phase 6. BJP had won all the seats in 2014 and 2019, but this time the AAP Congress alliance is hoping to ride the sympathy wave following the arrest of Kejriwal and other AAP leaders. Release of Arvind Kejriwal or interim bail has come as a morale booster for opposition ranks. BJP has replaced 6 out of 7 MPs. AAP is contesting 4 seats at the Congress 3. Arvind Kejriwal has promised full statehood for Delhi if the opposition wins the Lok Sabha election. BJP candidate and Sushma Swaraj's daughter, Basuri Swaraj, Congress's Kanhaiya Kumar and BJP member and trade association leader Praveen Khandelwal are some of the key candidates in Delhi. Voting will also take place in 10 constituencies in neighbouring Haryana. The fate of industrialist Naveen Jindal, who has joined the BJP, is at stake in Haryana, and also fighting the poll battle is former Haryana Chief Minister M.L. Khattar from Karnal. 14 seats in UP, 8 in Bihar, 4 in Jharkhand are also up for grabs. 6 constituencies in Odisha, with the fights in Bhubaneswar, Puri and Sambalpur to watch out for. It's BJP's Sambit Patra versus Arup Patnaik of the BJD in Puri, Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan versus Pranav Prakash Das of the BJD in Sambalpur. 8 seats in West Bengal are voting in phase 6 as well. It has been a volatile campaign there between the Trinamool Congress and the BJP. Let's also watch out for Anantnag Rajouri seat in Jammu and Kashmir, where 20 candidates are in the fray, including Mehbooba Mufti of the PDP.
All right, Parikshit, thanks so much for getting us all the details as India gears up for the 6th phase of our long-drawn union elections. With that, we'll slip into a short breather on the show. But coming up next, well, ice cream makers have a blast as India sizzles under severe heat wave. Details in just a bit. Stay tuned to Business Lunch. Welcome back. You're watching Business Lunch. Now, as promised, talking about ice creams, large part of India really grapples with heat waves, and ice creams as well as frozen dessert manufacturers are seeing a sharp surge in demand. In fact, CNBC TV18's Rumi Chakrabarti reports that this has manufacturers not only ramping up their operations, but churning out new flavors. Take a look.
From bite-sized ice creams to vegan and low-calorie ice creams to new fruity flavors, ice cream and frozen dessert manufacturers are turning up the heat as they help the Indian consumer beat the heat this summer. With a hotter than usual summer looking likely, companies say they have already seen demand in this segment surge in March and April and are confident this will only increase.
In general, demand is up about, for us about 20 to 25%. This year, we had forecast a 20% growth, and we believe that we are pretty much on the right track with just 1 month down in the new fiscal and in the summer season as well. So demand is pretty much on the right track.
We've seen a heightened consumer demand this year round. We've been running the summer carnival on our app since 1st of March. We've observed a notable double-digit growth, almost to the tune of 16% compared to last year, if I look at the period of March to 15th April 2024.
This will also see the $2.32 billion Indian frozen dessert market grow faster. Market research firm Markintel Advisors says the market is expected to grow at 4.53% annually in the coming years, and adds that 2024 is expected to clock a 13.49% growth in sales. Manufacturers say a lot of this growth will be driven by new launches, improved distribution channels, and an overall increase in consumer spending.
Frozen dessert manufacturers are banking on innovation to drive growth. For example, for HUL, the ice cream business constitutes only 3% of its total revenue. The company, which owns brands like Magnum, Quality Walls, has recently introduced the slow-churned ice creams. Ice cream brands are also using the popularity of quick commerce platforms to amp up their sales.
The company says, and I quote, "There is a growing demand for Indian mithai and international desserts, including brownies, cookies and cream, and cheesecake." Another emerging demand trend among premium consumers focuses on the differentiated artisanal process of making ice cream with the best ingredients rather than a new flavor. We have captured this through Slow Churn, launched exclusively on e-commerce platforms such as Swiggy, Zepto and Blinkit. End of quote. Rival Baskin-Robbins, meanwhile, is banking on bite-sized ice cream treats and a slew of new fruity flavors to keep customers returning for more.
Whole pipeline of products, which includes new ice cream flavors, new beverages. There are new product formats that we have brought in, and so on and so forth.
There is also a market for ice creams that cater to the health conscious.
Plant-based choices, vegan choices. We have observed almost 70% increase in orders for just vegan and guilt-free ice creams. Again, even across the different categories of ice creams, the growth is secular. In some of the new innovative stuff that is happening out there in the market, consumers are also lapping up some of those options.
Interestingly, ice cream is no longer only an after-lunch or after-dinner affair. While Swiggy's data suggests that 7 p.m. to midnight time band remains the golden hour for ice cream orders, Swiggy has delivered over 80,000 ice cream orders between 7 and 11 in the morning. Meaning, an ice cream for breakfast is not the worst way to start the day. In Mumbai with Rumi Chakrabarti, Arundhati Ramanan.
Okay, getting all of us hungry this afternoon, and who wouldn't want to cool off with an ice cream?
You know,
right?
Sonia, this time also for health conscious, fitness conscious people, there are different variants of ice creams have also come to the market. And some of those small units are doing pretty well, and especially on Instagram, they can really further their business.
So, you know,
many such opportunities are really coming up.
The other day, I really felt good about my order, because I ordered this almond milk vegan ice cream. I promise you, it didn't taste as good as regular ice creams did.
Never
but
does.
At least it made me feel
Yeah.
a little healthier. Well, on that note, we will wind down and perhaps go and have a little ice cream ourselves. We will wind down on Business Lunch. Thanks a lot for watching. Midcap Radar comes up next.